He wanted more land. But the earth took his life. A deep Yoruba folklore on greed and destiny. What if someone told you you could own as much land as you could walk in one single day? No limit. No boundary. No price. Just one condition. If you fail to return before sunset, you lose everything. This is the story of a man who believed more meant better. But by sunset, he learned the earth keeps strict accounts. Sometimes in a quiet Yoruba village not far from Aefi, the cradle of ancient kings and sacred soil, there lived a farmer named Adebeo. He was not poor. His barns were full. His yam heap stood proudly in season. His wife, Nike, was wise and steady. His children were healthy. The land his father left him was dark and fertile. It was enough. But enough is dangerous. When a man begins to compare. Every evening, elders gathered beneath the Iroko tree in the village square. They spoke of balance, of ancestors, of the unseen laws that guide prosperity. One elder often said, "The earth gives according to the heart that tills it." Adebeo would nod. But inside him, a different voice had started speaking. Travelers passed through the village from distant towns like a burden. They told stories. Stories of chiefs whose land stretched beyond sight. Stories of plantations so vast that workers disappeared into them like ants. Stories of men who became legends because of how much they owned. Adebeo listened carefully. And slowly, gratitude began to rot. At night, he would lie awake. What is 3 plots? He thought. What is this small inheritance? His wife noticed the silence growing inside him. One evening, under soft moonlight, as they ate pounded yam, he said it plainly. "I need more land." Nike looked around the compound. The goats were fat. The roof did not leak. Their children laughed inside. "For what?" she asked calmly. "To become greater." That was the moment ambition crossed into hunger. Soon, Adebeo tried clearing and used bushland without consulting the elders, but something no wise farmer did without ritual permission. When Baba Olumide heard, he visited him. "You are stretching beyond your shadow," the old man warned. "I only want to prosper," Adebeo replied. "There is prosperity," Baba said quietly, "and there is excess. They are not twins. But when a man has decided to want more, wisdom sounds like jealousy." Then one market day, a stranger arrived. His clothes were simple. His voice calm. His presence unsettling. He approached Adebeo directly. "I hear you seek more land." Adebeo stiffened. "Who told you?" The stranger smiled slightly. "Desire speaks loudly." He made an offer. At sunrise, Adebeo could begin walking. He could claim every piece of land he circled before sunset. All of it would be his. But there was one rule. He must return to his starting point before the sun disappears. If he fails, he loses everything he currently owns. The village buzzed with whispers. It was a gamble. But Adebeo saw only opportunity. At dawn, the villagers gathered. Nike stood silently, fear tightening her chest. Baba Olumide shook his head slowly. When the first light broke across the horizon, Adebeo began walking. At first, his pace was confident. He marked wide arcs across open fields. "This will secure my children's future," he muttered. By mid-morning, sweat soaked his back. He looked ahead. Even richer soil lay beyond. He kept going. By noon his legs began to ache. A small voice inside whispered, "Turn back, you have enough." But greed has a clever argument. "If you stop now, you'll regret it forever." He pushed further. Further than planned. Further than wise. Then he looked at the sun. It had begun descending. The starting tree now looked impossibly distant. His heartbeat quickened. He had gone too far. He began walking faster. Then jogging. Then running. His breath grew sharp and broken. The same land that looked golden in the morning now felt endless and cruel. In the distance, villagers saw a tiny figure running against the dying light. Nike clasped her hands tightly. The sun sank lower. Adebayo's vision blurred. His chest burned. But fear pushed him harder than ambition ever had. Just before the final edge of sunlight touched the earth, he lunged forward and collapsed across the starting mark. The crowd gasped. He made it. But he did not move. Blood trickled from his nose. His chest did not rise. The land he claimed was vast. But his body was still. Baba Olumide knelt beside him. After a long silence, he spoke. The earth has taken what it was owed. The stranger was gone. No one knew where he came from. Some whispered he was not a man at all, but a test. They buried Adebayo at the edge of the field he once thought too small. 6 feet long. 3 feet wide. That was the only land he truly needed. The vast territory he claimed would now feed his children. But he would never walk it. The land he once called insufficient had always been enough. In Yoruba wisdom, wealth is not measured by how far your land stretches, but by how peacefully you sleep on it. Desire is not evil. But when desire refuses to stop, it becomes a thief. And sometimes, the only ground we truly keep is the one that covers us.